What's good, my people? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get into this. So I want to talk about Christian and Alejandro Trevino, and also Juan Eduardo Melendez. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of who these three individuals are, I'm going to enlighten you. And let me start by saying, to me, these three individuals are heroes. These three individuals did something that I think needs to be done more often. And I'm going to explain to you what that is. Now, Christian and Alejandro are brothers. And they were informed by their younger half-sister that the stepfather was touching her. And what these two brave young men did was commence to beating their stepfather to death, alongside with their friend Juan Eduardo Melendez. These three took matters into their own hands. Now, in society's eyes, they will be cast out as villains. They will be looked at as vigilantes, as people that took the law into their own hands and cost somebody their life. But I ask you, my people, what the fuck is the difference between them and Kyle Rittenhouse, who America celebrated what he did? When he killed those two people, when he went to that riot with that AR-15 and took the lives of two people, he is celebrated. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing because there's a whole gray area and whatever the case may be. And that's not, my point is, Kyle Rittenhouse, a young white man, is a hero for what he did. These three, they're in South Texas, by the way. It appears that these three young men are Mexican. And they are going to be cast out and made to look like animals, vigilantes. When what they did, allegedly, if the little girl was telling the truth, which I believe, kids are the most honest people on earth. You will get lies and everything from every grown-up lies. Kids don't lie. If you're ugly, they'll tell you ugly. Your breath stink, they'll tell you your breath stink. If you're pretty, they'll tell you you're pretty. If they shit on themselves, they'll tell you they shit on themselves. It's no shame in the kid's game, man. And for that little girl to tell her brothers that in confidence, and they did what I feel was right. I feel that these three young men are heroes. They are heroes. Far too often in our society, in just society you know what? This isn't just about our society. This is about women being abused since a young age. How many of us have dealt with women in our lives as we grow older, and they tell us horrifying stories about a family member touching them, doing something to them when they were younger, being inappropriate with them? It happens way too much, and it gets swept under the rug in the family instead of doing what this shit. I don't give a fuck if you're my brother, you're my uncle, you're my father. That's unacceptable, and we need to fucking check that shit at the door immediately. These three young men are heroes, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. I don't care what people say. You could call them vigilantes, you could call them whatever the fuck you want, murderers, whatever you want, man. But to me, these young men did what needed to be done. And I hope that if there is if there is a so-called justice system, that they will show leniency to these boys. I'm not saying that there's not a price to pay. And I know that these young men did what they did and didn't give a fuck about the price to pay, because they knew what they did was right. What they did had to be done. Like I said, bringing it back to Kyle Rittenhouse. This young man went out there to so-called avoid a problem, but how do you go to avoid a problem and stop a problem when you have an AR-15 on your hip? And I'm not trying to get into the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I'm just drawing a parallel between these three young men that did something that directly affected them. This directly affected them because that's their little sister. What was happening in the other state, when Kyle Rittenhouse was not directly affecting him. Yes, he had family in the area, but it was not directly affecting him. And he went over there and did what people now are crowning him as God's work, and he's a hero. Let's not blur the lines here. Let's understand that these three young men did what they felt was right and also what I feel is right. Too often these men, these predators, because that's what they are, they're predators. These predators get away with this. And even if they go to jail, they get away with this. Because to give somebody that sexually molested a child or a woman or anything, to give them 3 years, 2 years, 4 years and let them out the door is a travesty. They don't learn their lesson. 4 years in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. But it's not enough for the lifelong damage that individual caused, especially a child. They never get over that. Like I said, a lot of us in our community and a lot of us in life have dealt with women later on down the line, and they're so scarred and fucked up in the head, and then when they come out and tell you certain things, you start to understand why. You start to understand why they have such trust issues and why they're so jumpy and all this other crazy shit. Because they've been through some shit. Because they've been through, and 9 out of 10, the dude that put him through it is free. We need to do better. Salute to these three young individuals. I encourage you to go read this story. It's out of South Texas. These three young men did what they had to do. And I salute them. And you guys could disagree with me. You know what I mean? Because life is valuable. I get it. A person lost his life. But when it comes to people that harm children, people that rape other people, I'm sorry to say I have little to no sympathy for those individuals. I really do. So look, man, y'all be good out there. Salute to everybody. Salute to my guy Latin Pain. Salute to, these three young men. And I hope that they land on their feet. But if they don't, I hope that they know that what they did the right thing. Maybe not in the eyes of the law, but in the eyes of humanity, they did the right thing. Yo, until the next time, man, y'all be good. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for stopping by, man. Y'all be good out there. Stay blessed. Peace.